Now that Thanksgiving's over with, this Sunday the NFL has wrapped up. Let's take a look at the games from Sunday. The Titans take down the Colts in a 20-13 matchup, a closer game. The Colts have been a decent team this season, but man, have they had a hard schedule. The Titans go to 5-6. Mariota, a decent day. Henry, a good day on the ground. There was only one turnover, and it was a muffed punt in this game. But Tennessee, their playoff chances stay alive. The Colts, they have to start winning if they want to get to the playoffs with a 2-9 record at the moment. Cincinnati, they went to Pittsburgh. It was a rainy day in Pittsburgh, full of a light sprinkle for most of the game, but in the end, Pittsburgh gets a win. Big Ben and the Steelers, they have not looked good the last couple of games, but they've been able to just get enough from their defense. Andy Dalton with a interception and a fumble late to cost Cincinnati the game. The Bengals, they have a tough game against the Saints next week. Pittsburgh, they have to go to Baltimore. Two tough games for those two. How about this blowout? A 34-3 win for the Atlanta Falcons, who get back on the right track. They've lost a couple in a row, but they get back to 7-4. Matt Ryan, an excellent day through the air, just 11 incompletions and 3 touchdowns. One of those to Julio Jones. Jay Cutler, 83 yards in this game. He got benched in the second half, actually in the fourth quarter, for Alex Moore, who threw 67 yards in one quarter. The Patriots hang off in a rainy day in Orchard Park, 17-10. One of the many rainy games. Pittsburgh was the first one. The Patriots are 10-1, the best start to a season by any team through the first 2 years of the simulation. Brady with 208 passing yards, Taylor with 243 in the light rain there in Orchard Park. Pretty surprising. But we go to the Coliseum, where the Rams took a 24-17 win, a closer game than they would have liked, against the Arizona Cardinals, who are a very underrated team, despite being 3-8. Carson Palmer with a good day. The Rams, Jared Goff with a good day. No turnovers in this game. Really shows how competitive these two are. The Cardinals, they're going to have a little bit of a tougher game against Denver next week. The Rams have to play the Cowboys. So, two tougher games for both those teams. How about this? An AFC West rivalry. The Chargers upset the Raiders 27-20 in Los Angeles. A big win for the Chargers, who go to 6-5 and are right now outside of the playoffs, tied with Baltimore for that last spot. The Raiders, Derek Carr, an interception late, cost them the game. They're 7-4, but they have a big rematch with the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football in Week 13. They'll have to really fight hard if their playoff chances don't want to slip out from underneath their feet. Here's the third rainy game of the weekend. 21-17, the Jets lose to Carolina in heartbreaking fashion. Came down to a fourth down conversion, and just McCown threw it too high for Robbie Anderson. But nonetheless, Carolina, they looked all right. Offense kind of stalled in the second half. The Jets' offense looked just as good as it's been all year. They've had up and down games. So next week, they'll have to try and fight hard against Minnesota. This was a lot closer game than a lot of people thought. The Saints win 27-22 over the Giants. The Giants have been in a couple of close games the last couple of weeks. Saints go to 8-3, a good day out of Breeze, but Manning 300 yards on the day. 133 of those to Odell Beckham. So the Giants' offense looks really good, but they have to play the Eagles next week. That'll be a big struggle for New York as they look to try and bounce back into playoff contention. The fourth rainy game of the weekend, the Jaguars win 15-6 over the Browns. The Jags, it was not pretty. 2 turnovers by them. Same for the Browns. Kaiser, 106 passing yards and a pick, 26 rushing yards out of Crowell. It was not a pretty game. Pouring in Jacksonville. Bortles with a pick in this one as well, along with a fumble from Chris Ivory. The Buccaneers, who dodged the rain, win 30-27, a close game with the Washington Redskins. The Redskins will go on a bye next week. Ryan Fitzpatrick, his first win with the Buccaneers. He's now 1-2. Again, over 250 yards, third game in a row. Kirk Cousins, the interception late, cost the Redskins a chance to come back and win this game. So they'll have to go into their bye week 3-9 with the tougher end of the schedule. America's Game of the Week, the Vikings beat Seattle 16. The Seahawks were competitive in the second half, but there's a lot of things that need to get done in order for Seattle to be playoff contenders, and it starts with Russell Wilson, who has not looked good the last couple of weeks. But Case Keenum looked pretty good in this game. The Vikings are 8-3. Seattle's lost the lead in the NFC West. They are now 7-4. Sunday Night Football in Kansas City. The Chiefs win 28-14 over Denver. They sweep the Broncos and will get ready for the Raiders in the black hole for Week 13. Simeon looked decent, but was less than 50% passing through the air. Alex Smith, 6 incompletions, just 6. One of the most accurate games of his career. Kareem Hunt with a good day. Tyreek Hill with a nice night. Just everything going in the Chiefs' direction when they face the Raiders next week. And then Monday Night Football, a 35-20 win for Green Bay. But on the initial kickoff, San Francisco took it all the way to the house. That's never happened before. A 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, but in the end just wasn't enough. Jimmy Garoppolo with a decent night, but Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes. Best game of the year by far for the Packers as they go to 9-2, and the 49ers fall to 3-8. Here are the NFC standings. Green Bay on top. Philadelphia with a win against Dallas on Thanksgiving, go to 8-3. Saints at 8-3, Rams 8-3 as well. Dallas and Minnesota have the last 2 playoff spots, with Seattle, Carolina, Atlanta, and Detroit all in the hunt, with Tampa Bay could possibly sneak in there next week if they win as well. Then in the AFC, New England at 10-1, Kansas City 9-2, Pittsburgh 9-2, Jacksonville 7-4, and then the Raiders and Ravens have the wild card spots with the Chargers, Titans, Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, and Texans all in the hunt as well. This is American Sports Coverage, signing off.